Hey guys, I'm Froggy, and we've got Mordecai and Nails with us. You guys want to say hi?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Mordecai.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you, Froggy. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
All right, right on, no problem. Mordecai and Nails, they created a treasure hunt called TreasureFix. Is that the name of the treasure hunt, or is that just the website name?
So that's the name of
That's the
the
name of the hunt, right?
the concept, you could say. So we have multiple hunts
Concept, okay,
within the Treasure
in there.
Fix brand, we could call it. And yeah, the idea is we've already got several hunts out and in progress, and we're going to be releasing more in the coming days, weeks, months, and hopefully years. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, good, good. A little bit of background before we get into like the website and the multiple hunts that you guys have going on right now. We'll start with Mordecai first. How did you get into this world of treasure hunting? What was your first experience with treasure hunting?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a newer member of the community, and I've kind of been peripherally focused on, sort of following the hunts and following what other people have been doing in these. But I love that these exist, and I think it's really fun to be a part of, uh, um, putting them together and figuring out ways to, uh, just kind of keep people being curious and wanting to learn, and trying to think about something and find ways to make connections of things that kind of show that there's deeper meaning in something. So definitely not the most engaged out in the world, boots on the ground hunter, but definitely following this around, like following the story of people that want to go out and do stuff like this, and a lot of these types of communities, like not before this, but kind of tangent with this, being a part of a group that wanted to do the cannonball run, drive across country as fast as possible. I kind of put all this stuff in sort of like a fun, curious bucket of mine. And this has been, a really fun new community to get to learn, what's been going on here.
Adventure seekers.
Hold on, I gotta take a timeout. I gotta take a timeout, and we gotta go back to Cannonball Run real quick. Okay, so real quick, did your group ever get a chance to do it?
Yeah, so I don't know how well you know the story, but sort of like since 2010, a buddy of mine, Ed Bolian, kind of went and re-broke the record or set a new record for it. He drove it in, what was it, 28 hours and 50 minutes. So it's like averaging 100
Wow.
miles an hour. And it's been sort of like a resurgence of people being interested in trying to break that record. And people have now. He's kind of, it's been broken, kind of, I think, like shattered. I think somebody drove across country averaging 120 miles an hour. I mean, it's all just a little crazy, but I did go with him on a trip. We did it in about 33 hours. If I'm forgetting the number, but it was more of like a celebratory race. But yeah, we drove cross country, Connecticut to LA. And yeah, it's a great community, really fun, and yeah, a little crazy.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
treasure hunters are all a little crazy, so that's pretty cool.
it's
All right, let's
yeah.
get into Nails. Nails, what what was your introduction to treasure hunting? How did you find yourself in this community?
So I first became aware kind of, I'd say kind of early middle days of the Fen hunt. And as I mentioned in our first podcast, I was never boots on the ground in that one either, more for proximity and just my job circumstances and stuff at the time. But I got into following it pretty closely, and kind of trying to armchair solve from my home, and and
Mm.
then just kind of became wrapped up in the story and the controversy and all of the, it was just kind of a fascinating look into how these treasure hunts can work, and then the foreseen and unforeseen consequences and circumstances that go into it. So that was kind of my introduction, and then I slowly became a little bit more involved, more kind of lurking, as discords, I think you might call it, just kind of seeing what was out there and that sort of stuff. And then, you know, kind of came up with this concept last year, and just thought it would be a really interesting way to, as I've said, Mordecai and myself, we kind of in our more related to his primary occupation, but kind of in our side hustles, we do a little bit of like content creation. I co-wrote a book that's being adapted into a television series, and we kind of looked at this as a really intriguing opportunity to sort of create content within the confines of a treasure hunt and this treasure hunting community. And so from there, I just really kind of dove in. And then, of course, this past fall, we have the JCB's There's Treasure Inside Hunt come out. And I feel like that just sort of exploded, you know, kind of the interest in the mainstream awareness surrounding it. And so that kind of put us into overdrive for just getting our hunt, you know, our initial batch of hunts, you know, just locked in, and the website up and all that sort of stuff. And then we released TreasureFix. We launched on March 1st. So that's kind of been the culmination of our efforts. And again, we look forward to, you know, putting a lot of fun, interesting stuff out there for hopefully many years to come.
Okay, before we get into TreasureFix, finally, I do want to stop and say, you guys co-wrote a series that it's going to get animated, or it's going to be on. What was that again?
It'll be a live. So it's actually a story, kind of a memoir that one of my good friends lived through, and it's called Gorilla and the Bird. And so that was picked up by HBO, now Max, and it's been in development for several years now. And there's been, you know, as with that, especially in the past, you know, 5 years, we all kind of know what's been going on in that industry. So it's been tough. We hope it'll see the light of day at some point, and it'll be exciting to see it on screen if that day ever comes. So.
Okay. And I'm not the co-writer on that one, as much as I would like to be.
Okay.
You know, but that, yeah, I'm part of that one. That's all Nails.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the website now. So let's see. Go ahead and add this to stage. There we go. All right. One, I gotta congratulate you guys. I don't know, you both take credit or who takes credit, but it's a really nice looking site.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
That's Nails coming in doing this one. Yeah.
We got another one with
so
some exciting things in the works. So and that's all Mordecai. So we'll yeah.
Nails is good at moving fast early, and I'm like, I want it to be perfect before it goes.
Yeah.
So that's funny. He's the move fast guy, but you're the cannonball run guy. So
I no.
Hey, don't try to put us in a box, you know.
That's right.
I like it. Okay, one thing I do like about the website, just from the front, is I'm on Discord a lot, and one of the things I see is people who hear about treasure hunting either from the Netflix, or they come across on social media, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, and they don't know about Discord, and they're always like, how do I get in Discord? What's the Discord? Where's Discord? I do like that you have on the very top right there, you know, discuss TreasureFix hunts on the Mysterious Writings Discord. It's a little link right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we are working on our own, and I mean, shout out to Jenny at Mysterious Writings.
Jenny's great.
She just has an incredible community, and it's super positive and fun to interact in there. And you know, so I've already mentioned it to her that we will eventually have kind of a more in the weeds TreasureFix specific Discord. But honestly, I have so much fun interacting in the MW Discord that, I mean, I see that being our primary avenue for interacting with our with our searcher community, for as long as she keeps doing that. So we're, again, just super grateful for all of the work that she does, and in bringing this community together. It's really awesome.
All right. So somebody navigates to your website. It's TreasureFix.com, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. They get there and they see explore, learn, earn. They click right there on explore active hunts. Let's see. So now we've got hunt resources and submit a solve. And these are, correct me if I'm wrong, these are all the active hunts you have on right now?
That's correct. Yeah. So we've got 4 active hunts right now. We've got another one down
Okay.
there that's coming soon. But yeah, basically you're gonna, you would purchase access to the hunt, which gives you the full materials for the hunt as well as a unique solve ID. And so the way that this current site operates is that when you're ready to submit a solve for any one of the hunts, you would go up to where it says submit a solve, and there will be sort of identical, uh, products for each of the hunts. And so that's how you submit your solve.
Okay. And some of these are armchair only, correct? Does it say you have to click in there and you'll find out? Does it say on the
Yeah,
front?
if you click in there, you'll see. So, for example, the Americana hunt is a pure armchair hunt, but there is a boots on the ground option for this one. So
Okay.
so there's a boots on the ground element, which essentially, if you choose to pursue that avenue, it could sort of shortcut you towards the full solve.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
don't have to. And so that's kind of an unusual setup, but one that I thought was, just kind of an interesting way to do it, because it allows people who maybe don't have the ability to get out there and go take a week or two to search for a literal physical item, to still fully participate, but also for people who kind of want that adventure and maybe feel like they have a good read on the boots on the ground element of the hunt. They can go pursue that, and if they're successful, it'll get them a leg up.
I will say there is I'm glad to see more like armchair, because there's a demand for it, right? There's a demand for people who, like you said, their life is busy. Their obligations don't allow them to go to another state for a couple days at a time. Maybe they only have like an hour or two a night to put into this, if that. And so someone like that, or maybe they have a disability, they can still participate in the hunt, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was a big thing that we wanted to add, is just more of that, because I mean, honestly, you've got to be in a pretty unique situation to have the time and the resources and the ability to maybe go across the country and spend a week, 2 weeks. I mean, we know from some of these previous hunts that it can take that or longer, and
Right.
and that's and that's a pretty rare thing to have the ability to do. And I mean, that's great if you do, but also we want to try to help bring more people into it who maybe don't have that ability. Or one of the coolest emails I got early on after we launched was from a stay-at-home mom who was like, I love like the doing it and participating in it, but like I can't go out somewhere if I solve one of these to go locate the treasure. I just don't have that ability. And she was just very appreciative of this, more of this sort of hunt being put out there. So
Hey, and that's, as a creator, that's what the great thing is getting that positive feedback of, fulfilling a need someone has or a wish they have. And yeah, you put out a product that can solve that, right?
for sure. Yeah.
Hey, $100,000, that's not a small prize. That's a good chunk of change right there.
Yeah, well, it's a tough it's not an easy hunt, we'll say that. But we
Let's
wanted
look
to
at
put.
let's look at one more. The which one is a digital only? Is it the nails in the
Yeah,
kitchen?
nails in the kitchen is, and then the word search next to it as well. Yeah. And so you can like check out, we
so
do like
good.
little
This one's visual
preview.
only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And,
let's do that. Let's click on the preview.
yeah, so we don't give you everything in the preview, but you know, well, in this one we don't give you a whole lot, but but you know, this would be the preview just so
Okay.
you can
It looks like
sort
a
of,
recipe, right?
it is, yeah, yeah. So you're
Okay.
making a spicy bok choy salad, and people are we've had at least a couple people actually make the recipe, so that's fun.
It looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So the
Yeah,
recipe is actually a really recipe that you can make.
yeah, it's a yeah.
That some would make.
So explain to me a little bit about the solve guarantee. So September 1st of this year, how does that work? The solve guarantee.
Yeah, so basically, one of the other elements that we felt like could be improved in this hobby industry, you know, whatever we want to call it, is giving people a little bit more of a concrete understanding of how long or how much time they might be investing in a hunt. And so when you have a completely open-ended hunt, for example, the fen hunt, I mean, that could have taken 2 years, it could have taken 10 years, it could have taken 50 years, and you just don't have an idea of when it's going to wrap up. And so the solve guarantee is basically just giving people an end date. And so we're saying someone in the community will solve this by that date. And if that's a result of us pushing clues out to help guarantee that, that's how we'll do it. If someone just gets it within that window on their own, great. You know, the hunt ends when it ends.
Okay. All right, good. The last question I wanted to ask about these treasure hunts is there a free option, or like is there an option for someone who like doesn't pay? Is there any way they can win at all, or you have to pay in to get access to win?
Yeah, so we did a bonus hunt early on that a bunch of people in the Discord participated in, and the way we did that one was we had a $500 prize, and we split it between the first five correct entries. And we'll do more stuff like that, and we do anticipate kind of once we build the community up, kind of our base, once we have greater numbers, there's going to be a lot more that we can do in terms of like free hunts or you know, maybe some. I know Mordecai loves the idea of like the hidden cash sort of hunts where, you know, on social media.
What's that?
So basically, someone, you know, you'll film a location, and you know, you'll put $100 bill, let's say, at a location, and you know, you post that video, and then it's basically first to find it based on just kind of like the visual clues surrounding it. So we've got that planned. But again, some of these things we just need kind of more eyes on something from the very beginning in order for it to kind of make sense. You know, if we went into a random city right now and started doing these, you know, I don't know how much traction it would have. So a lot of this is sort of like build the community, and then from there, the options really open up.
Okay. Cool.
Here.
All right, guys, the website looks amazing. Thanks for explaining it. Now I want to go into a little bit more about your vision because both you guys have a really powerful vision, and I'm really interested in it about treasure hunt and treasure hunting and all these prizes and games as content rather than just, you know, a traditional treasure hunt. Mordecai, can you explain to me a little bit about, you know, your vision and what you see?
Yeah, I mean, I think Nails kind of hit on something when he talks about, you know, we have a lot of plans and want to do things as soon as the community starts to grow and get bigger. And so I think you touched on a good word there as a platform. And we do kind of see this as, you know, building a new unique business model around treasure hunting and content. So you can, you know, perhaps buy into like a subscription model and know that you're going to get a certain amount of hunts for the month. Meanwhile, having, you know, maybe a larger hunt that you're working on, like Americana or some of the other ones that we have planned. So kind of trying to find a nice a mixture of those things together, where it's like, hey, there's certain things that I'm working on that are really fun and keep me engaged. Meanwhile, I have this longer term hunt that I'm really trying to figure out as well. So it's like really trying to meld those two things together. And and along with that, we want to not just do printed material hunts, maybe mix it up with more multimedia like videos or music, multiple ways that we're going to start creating something that you might just enjoy, but there's also going to be a treasure inside of it.
I like that. This is an exciting time. I mean, 2025 really seems to be the year of the event with a map, and you have to go out and hike in the woods. I mean, you can still do that if you want, and you guys have that option. But this is all about accessibility, about making it accessible to anyone, everyone. A question: do you have to be? Is there anything on the website that says you have to be in the United States to do it?
It is opened up to people overseas, our digital hunts. So yeah, I mean, if it's purely digital and we try to make it as clear as we can, just so there's no confusion about someone signing up for a hunt that would be potentially located in the contiguous US, which is what we've limited our current geographical boundaries to. Then yeah, there's no restriction on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, so something like the Nails in the Kitchen one, making the spicy bok choy, someone who's overseas who stumbles across this this hunt, I mean, they can get word and they can play, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. We're winding up coming to the end of the interview here. One last question I want to pose is, now that you guys have been working as creators for the past few months, you're still working actively on the JCB hunt. How has that changed your mindset, your approach, now that you've had a chance to design a hunt? Nails, we'll go first.
Yeah. So, again, we kind of started creating these prior to that. But I mean, I do think creating a hunt gives you certainly just kind of a broader insight into shifting into treasure hunter mode. And I certainly think about things differently today than I did, let's say 10 years ago when I was, kind of looking at the hunts then. And yeah, I mean, I don't know that it even gives you a leg up necessarily, but you do kind of have that mindset of trying to get into the head of the creator. And I think one of the things also, this just kind of goes a little bit to one of the differences that we're trying to bring is, when you look at Forrest Fenn, when you look at JCB, now when you look at Justin Posey's hunt, these are very personal treasure hunts to them and to their life experiences and to their friends and family. And that's awesome. I mean, this is no criticism whatsoever of that, but we're trying to do something that's maybe a little bit more, I got to come up with a better word for this, because I think I used generic in our first podcast. And I don't want to make it sound generic in the sense of
right.
Boring or something like that, but kind of something where you're not going to solve one of our hunts because you found out what my favorite food in New York City is, or where I like the, I mean, it's
Nice.
It's less that, and it's more of a puzzle, and a puzzle that anyone can solve. And again, we're trying to create something that is going to be repetitive. I mean, there's only so many hunts that you could sort of build around your life story.
Right.
And so, we're trying to create something that's going to have the ability to, to create hunt after hunt after hunt and keep them engaging, keep them entertaining, keep them unique. And so, with the big hunts that are out there right now, I don't know necessarily that the way we're creating them is, again, is going to really help me, maybe try to pinpoint one of JCB's chests or or Justin's treasure. But I think it gives it just kind of gives you a little bit of a different insight. So it certainly is interesting. I love creating more than hunting. I love I love creating something that I think and hope people will enjoy. That's where I really get my joy in this world. Don't get me wrong, I love solving puzzles myself, and it'd be great to to come upon one of these incredible chests out in the wilderness somewhere. I mean, I can only imagine what that must feel like. But I really get a lot of joy out of seeing people interact with the hunts that we create, and try to unlock what we're thinking.
Right.
I love that. So
yeah, and I think I'll add on. I think I'll add on to that. That I think there's just this constant thought I have when we're coming up with different clues or different puzzles. Like, is this too difficult or is that too obvious? And I think that what I've realized is that you have like no gauge for that, or at least I don't yet. It's like I'm not sure if it will be too easy or too hard. It's like once you, I think with a lot of these and a lot of with puzzles in general, it's like once you see it, it's obvious, and it becomes something that you can't not see when you look at a puzzle. So it's been sort of fun and difficult figuring out like what are difficulty levels with this, and in ways that you want to make these puzzles the most fun, and you kind of want to have a nice balance of easy and difficult, right? You're trying to hit some kind of balance there. So perhaps that will help weigh in on some other hunts as other things get put out there. But that's been one thing I've realized as we've been putting ours together.
Nice. I do want to thank both you guys for coming on the show. You guys have been really great. You have a podcast, so if anybody wants to know more about the hunts, more about you guys, what's the name of your podcast?
You find it with TreasureFix podcast. You can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts. We have a new episode coming out this week. Nice.
Okay, and I'll have the links to your website and your podcast. It'll be in the video description. Is there anything else? Any final closing remarks?
No, man, we appreciate you. And when you're ready to get back in creator mode, maybe we can do a hunt together sometime.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Put it out there for the people. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to wave goodbye, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Now listen, all you treasure hunters, searching all around for plunder. Do you need some help to be your best? There's something that you're trying to find, but you're about to lose your mind. So come on, listen in to Estes Quest. Estes Quest, the show where he'll be sharing clues. Estes Quest will chase away your searcher's blues. He's solving